Alpha.
Yo, what's up, Sony? My name's Trevor, and today we're shooting for stock. This is part 2 of our stock content creation series. Today we're talking about conceptualizing and crafting the perfect shoot plan with a systems-based thinking. What do I mean by this? As with any shoot, we need deliverables. And with stock, we're looking for a huge selection of content that we can submit to the agencies for online publication, which means more sales. I'm going to run you through my thought process on how I maximize content capture by touching on a variety of different concepts. But also, I'm going to get loads of variation by shooting stills and video, portrait and landscape, drone, stills and video, wide, close-ups, mediums, action shots, points of view. So why do I need all this variation, you ask? Magazines and phones would need a portrait format to work with. Desktops, laptops need a landscape format to work with. And that's just the reality. You don't quite know what the needs are of the person purchasing your stuff. So we're just going to try hit on as many of these points as we can within the time we have. Because we still want to enjoy our shoot. We're not going to rush and kill it for the day. We want to have fun and make the pictures enjoyable and beautiful and inspiring. So if we have fun, pictures will look good. To break it down a bit more, in this video we're going to talk about the pre-production process involved in planning your shoot production and where we can smash out all the nitty-gritties before we get on set. So let's crack on. So let's go into detail. Let's talk about how exactly we break the day down into these little segments for different industries focusing on different things. When you're starting, you got 3 things to focus on. Our main elements that we're going to play with is our location, we're going to play with our models, and we're going to play with the props and styling. How can you use the location wisely and create different stories? That's your first priority. How can you create different roles for the models and act them out in different scenarios? Gives you loads and loads of leeway. Spend time creating a mood board with references. This will be your guiding light throughout your planning process and will be your ideas book to come back to during the shoot. I get immersed in visual references and combine that with the resources I have and what I like to shoot, and that's my starting point for any stock shoot. Once I have a couple of elements in place, then you go into detail with the creative elements of the story like props and styling and lighting. All come from your visual references. They'll give you a proper guide. Try hustle the day down into segments, aiming to touch on these different industries like leisure and business and travel and social and lifestyle and architecture, interior, exteriors. That's our plan for today. And once we've conceptualized all this and we've got it all down, it comes to sticking it into a shoot schedule. As you can see, our shoot schedule is quite complex, but it also gives us a lot of space for play. So let's run through how we actually nailed it on the shoot. Firstly, we hustled a beautiful home for free as our base location for the stories with 2 friends of mine, and we are going to divide the surrounding areas into different locations for different stories we wish to focus on and plan to touch on some of those industries we mentioned earlier. So the first thing you need to do is a good old recce. You suss the location down to its top 5 or 6 locations that are going to work the best, they're going to be the most beautiful. And then you try and incorporate the concepts you found in your mood board, and then you start to plot out your movements for the day and how much time you want to spend in each location. If you'd like to set up a big story with lots of props, then you may want to spend a couple of hours shooting there. But for this example, we're going to keep things small and try hit on a couple more locations for the day, giving ourselves roughly about 1.5 hours in each section just to play around and catch some shots. These images will go for submission as interior and exterior submissions. Also, I got some beautiful landscape shots. I'm going to just throw that in there as well. In this first location, just up the road from the villa, I'm going to get the landscape, the view, the scenery, when the light is nice and low and everything has got a nice crisp yellow to it, and a beautiful road where they can play on the bicycle and have fun. We're going to plan to get a bunch of lifestyle stuff, but also beautiful landscape images. The views from this area are epic. So we want to focus mostly on these wide open spaces and the beautiful trees and the landscape and how people feel and enjoy in that space. Definitely making a point to move in a bit closer as often as I can for that lifestyle element and to kind of see what the emotions are, and then also moving out to the wider, more overall space feel. Again, most shots I capture in portrait and landscape, and I do stills and I do video and I do drone, stills and video. I get the most I can out of that time I get with a small basic setup. My lighting is very basic because I know I can pull a lot of information from my Sony dynamic range sensor. Gives me a lot of room to play, a lot of space to move on set and be more free. And this is our main location. We're going to start upstairs in the bedroom and work our way around and capture again some of the interior architecture, but this time we're going to put models and props to add a bit more of a story element to it as opposed to just documenting it. I use this time to have one setup in the bedroom where I can add a lifestyle story, and then I want to move quickly through the house and see if I can touch on some more interior spaces just to give it that human aspect. Again, I'm always looking for moments, so whenever the opportunity arises, I'm in there. Next location is the deck area and the pool, where we're going to focus mostly on exterior shots of the villa, but we're also going to be creating a lifestyle story that we can shoot from a distance, and then we can come in closer and capture that from a more detailed perspective. And then we're going to break it down into maybe couples and singles. And maybe a bit of a crew. We're going to throw the crew in there and have a bit of a social. I use the composition of the architecture to give us some graphic shots, and then I use the light wisely and all these beautiful graphic lines, and I'm just going to keep moving and touching on different areas for new compositions and keep changing the scenario as much as I can to get as much variation as I can. But obviously when you see a moment to play out, you go in and you make that moment count. In this segment, staying with the view from the deck, we're going to change the styling into a more evening wear and moving closer to capture a lifestyle story with some of the friends, which is the crew that we're just going to throw in there. And we're going to have a bit of a social. We're going to capture it from a distance, incorporating keywords like play and entertainment, ocean, landscape, villa, exterior, friends. And I'll make sure to catch the sunset and the exterior of the premises in all its glory for these architecture publications. Finishing off lastly, I had to throw in some playful moments with some friends and just a plain background where we can just be crazy and do stupid things, and it'll be completely different to what we've already shot during the day. So it just gives us that extra edge of variation for a submission, which means a whole shoot day. We got so much different stuff from the same location and the same people, and we just nailed it. So guys, as you can see, we planned this one out thoroughly and we got a full day of content all in the same location. And we got loads of variety for our submission because we made a point to touch on different industry segments. And best of all is that I own this content. And I can use this content again for other projects where I can make more money while it is currently earning me an income on the stock libraries. So chaps, in the next video, we're going to be talking about post-production and getting your content ready for submission. We're going to break down into how we select the images, how we give them a treatment, and do the same with the video. We're going to cut it down into the best pieces and see how much content we have for our submission at the end of the day. Till next time, Sony Alpha, keep it real.